to be all I wanna be? When will I be good enough to live my life and be free? When will I dance till the morning lights up my day? When?
That's what I want to say. Because it feels like that in this home. It feels this heart-centered release. Now I'm at the home of Simon Wing Lun. I met Simon probably about 18 months, 2 years ago, on my own healing journey here in Australia. I'd come to visit different friends and different healers, and Simon came into my awareness. And initially, straight away with Simon, I felt completely comfortable with you. I felt completely relaxed. There's certain people that we've already filmed that you have the energy of, and Michael Jazorska in Los Angeles is one of them, and he's a cartoonist. Fantastic guy. We filmed him. We got introduced by a friend of mine on the boardwalk who we've also filmed, Donald Jeffrey Kissinger. And he'd said about this guy walking along the boardwalk, he said he'll come walking along and you can just feel his energy because he's so bright and so open. For me, it's like this childlike energy that you have, that he has, it's an innocence that it's quite rare in the world to have that level of innocence, and then use that as the way you do in the work that you do. Now, I don't know how Theta Healing, how well it's known throughout the world. It's certainly become a very big phenomenon. I can't say it. It's become big in various different countries, and now you're one of the great practitioners here in Australia. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got involved with Theta Healing and how it developed for you?
Certainly, David. Well, before I even knew about Theta Healing, my life was really very different. So a little over 4 years ago, I was at the time a student. I was studying business and economics, and I was looking forward to going and probably working in a bank or a big corporation. And most of all, I think I was looking forward to making a lot of money and then having a lot of fun, buying a lot of nice things, a nice car, and going traveling. And I had this whole idea and sort of plan that in my mind of what my life should be like and what it should be about. But the problem was, it just wasn't happening. It wasn't feeling like I thought it was supposed to feel. So, I was studying and doing this maths and learning about money and business and these sorts of things. And I really did think I was doing what was going to make me happy, but inside, I just wasn't. Inside, I was feeling lonely. I was feeling sad. I feel like I wasn't connecting with people in a way that felt real. And in addition to that, my body was, in some ways, it was breaking down. I was sick all the time. I would have some sort of infection, some sort of virus. I had a really sore back. I'd had back pain, really since my late teenage years, and it was either getting worse or just stabilizing at that point in my life rather than getting better. So even though I didn't know it consciously, there was a part of me that was just really looking for something different. It just knew that life could be happier. And just in a flash, it all turned around, and Theta Healing was right at the beginning of that. Mm-hmm. I met up with an old friend I hadn't seen for 7 or 8 years, and he'd just done so many amazing things in his life. In a few years, he'd already had several careers. He'd made and lost a fortune, and all my friends were just school, university, grad job, and that's it. And just seeing him and connecting with his energy, I was just like, I want some of what you're having. There's something about you. And it was that moment that really got me to just start looking, to go, okay, I know that there's more out there, and start looking. So I started reading books. I went to a meditation class, and all these new, I guess you could say more spiritual, more holistic ways of looking at the world and looking at life led me to just feel there's a possibility for something new. And someone suggested this thing called Theta Healing. At first I was like, well, I don't really want to be a healer. I don't really know. It sounds a bit strange to me. But it was only a short time later, I was reading about it and something just clicked for me. I was reading the story of Vianna Stibal, the lady who began Theta Healing, and something as I was reading it just clicked for me. She had cancer. The cancer healed in a moment, an instant of just connection, an instant of love. For her, it was about her idea of being connected to God or the Creator, whatever you want to call it. And in that moment, her leg was healed. And what I understood from what I was reading at the time was that it was actually her beliefs and feelings that allowed her to be healed. She believed she could be healed, and so it happened for her. And then she spent years learning how she could replicate that sort of healing, that sort of process for others. And something about that, I thought that could work for me. And so here I am.
Yeah, here you are. So are you healed, Simon?
Am I healed? That's a very good question. And for me, healing and love are such a connected thing. For me, saying, are you healed, is a little bit like saying, well, are you loved? I am loved, but I guess maybe I'm looking for more love. I'm enjoying love growing in my life all the time, and healing is growing in the same way.
Why are you so loving?
What else would you want to be doing? What else would you really want to be doing? But when I started to see the world in a new way, when I started to see that it was possible for me to experience so much more love in so many different ways in my life, what was important to me, what I saw as being how I wanted to feel in my life, what I wanted to be doing, what I wanted to have, it changed completely from being a more conventional house, job, wife, kids, I do this, I do that, I make this money, I go here, this is my holiday, I enjoy doing this. It changed around completely, and in this, it was really me learning that what's important in my life is how I feel. That's really at the core of it. And what would you want to feel more than love? For me, love is at the center of all feelings that there are. And when you feel love for yourself, when you feel love for the world, when you feel love for others, there's so many different ways you can feel it. But it doesn't matter what things look like on the outside. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're dancing or walking or crying. It doesn't matter what sort of work you're doing. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't matter what you are. The love that you're feeling, and that love could feel more like joy. It could feel more like bliss, peace, fulfillment, happiness, satisfaction. That's what's important. How we feel is what's important.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of gestures with your hands when you're doing this. What is love for you, and what does this represent as you're moving with your hands and your body?
Love for me is the feeling of connection. It's the feeling of recognition that we're all one, that we're not only all one, we're not only all connected, but we're all connected and we're all good. We're all positive, we're all worthy of appreciation. We all have aspects of ourselves that are creating good, they are creating love, they are creating well-being, health, joy, sharing. Even when we feel at our worst, even when, whatever it may be, even when we feel our most guilty or most shameful, there's an aspect of us that is loving.